Namaskar and a very good afternoon to respected dignitaries here. It's an honor to represent Kathmandu University School of Management and Pata Nepal Chapter for this presentation. And so in today's presentation, I'll take you to a journey from thinking about wellness tourism to thinking about well-being, putting Nepal as a case study. So, to begin this journey, let's first start with the Mentimeter survey. Can you have that slide, please? Okay. So, what three words come to your mind when you hear the word wellness tourism? Can you please volunteer to scan this? Okay. Can you please volunteer to scan this and drop your ideas about the three words that comes to your mind first as you hear the word wellness tourism? We just experienced a little bit of that in previous session, but I'd love you to participate in this quick survey. It's an individual activity, so please no side talks and discussion. The Wi-Fi is free here. I think we have some technical issue. Just a moment, please. I'm a researcher actually, so I love asking questions and getting data. So this is how I begin my presentation. Okay, here you go. More words coming up. Okay. Interesting. Yoga is always in the top. Look at that. Okay. Meditation coming up. Peace. Relaxation. Healthy, well-being, mindfulness, okay, tranquility, wow, lots of words, okay, healing, relaxation, fitness, massage, mind therapy. Okay, we have 54 participating. Okay, 55. Nature. Thank you. Due to time limitation, we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Switching the presentation. Okay, now some physical activity. We use the technology enough. So have you ever traveled to receive a wellness service? Can you please raise your hand? How many of you have traveled to receive a wellness service? We got some hands. Thank you very much. Have you ever received some wellness service while traveling to Nepal, if this is not your first time? Okay, I got one hand there. Few hands here. Okay, we'll talk about those wellness services later one-on-one. Now, I asked Gemini AI using this prompt. Act as a tour operator who knows Nepal's wellness tourism offerings well and is suggesting travel packages for adventure tourists who is coming to Nepal for trekking Everest Base Camp and is looking for some wellness tourism experience to complement. So that was the prompt I used. You know, most of the travelers, they first check the ChatGPT and all the AI tools before coming to your decks as well, or they want to verify using that. So we got this option 1, the Himalayan realignment. That's a post-trek deep recovery package. And I'm skipping option 2 because that's my favorite, so I'm keeping it for the next slide. And the option 3 is the peak to peace, the ultimate alpine to lake shift. We talked about Nepal's diversity enough from early morning today, where we talked that we have Everest and more. We have cultural diversity, we have geographical diversity, and that kind of represents our diversity. Now, my favorite is the mindful mountaineer. The hybrid journey, where the wellness highlights are pre-take pranayam in Kathmandu for altitude preparation before you go for the trek. So you prepare your body, your mind, your spirit for that trekking. And evening foot massages and hot therapies at luxury trail lodges as you go along, and a post-trek sound bath decompression. Let's deconstruct this. Is it enough? Is this what all Nepal has to offer? Is it? I hope not. This is a small piece of the pie that Nepal offers in terms of its wellness, well-being, tourism experiences. So here is a brief account of what a recent Everest summiter talked about his journey in Nepal. 20 years back, he visited Nepal as a backpacker and was drawn into the world of Himalayas. His goal was promoting his physical and mental wellness. After climbing Mount Everest in May 2026, he expressed his absolute respect for Sherpa people, their presence of mind, strength, patience, steady mindset, calmness, even at that extreme risky situation. And he mentioned that he was chanting Om Mane Padme Hum as he was climbing the Mount Everest. So, let's talk more about this. What makes Sherpa all of these qualities that he mentioned? These qualities has been earned by the lifestyle we have chosen as Nepali in this country. We talked about less is more. We have been through different scarcities, different crises, and yet what holds us together was this sense of community. That sense of regeneration that is embedded within our culture, that this is not the only lifetime we have. We regenerate, we rejuvenate. And this is one lifetime among the many other lifetimes that was before this lifetime and that will come after this lifetime. The spiritual aspect. So, now let's get into the little bit more theoretical kind of definition. The Global Wellness Institute defines wellness as any active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyle that lead to a state of holistic health. So it's not just physical health that we relate to when we talk about wellness. It's a multidimensional concept. But yet, in our industry, many of our focus has been on pursuing or promoting physical health and not this whole multidimensional aspect of wellness. Okay, here is a brief account of what the $6.8 trillion economy of wellness comprises of. So my question to you, are you part of this global economy? If not, you better be, because this is in growing trend. And by 2029, we're expected to go beyond 9 trillion in terms of global economic contribution. And wellness tourism has been the third largest contributor to this economic growth globally. And in our Asia Pacific region, some of the data from the report is the traditional and complementary medicine sector is growing, yet the wellness tourism, unlike the global trend, is the fifth contributor to the global wellness economy. That means it indicates that we do have a good amount of opportunities to increase this contribution being part of the wellness tourism. Now, let's come back to Nepal. So, in today's presentation, what we are pitching is to position Nepal as a gateway for Eastern Wellbeing tourism landscape. One of my friends whom I met last week, he was born in Italy, raised in Belgium, worked in Switzerland, and now he spends 6 months of his time in Nepal and 6 months of his time in Europe, and he's promoting adventure tourism. He mentioned that he loves Nepal, promoting Nepal, because Nepal is not too extreme. We have cultures, the South Asian culture, but the international visitors, they can enter the South Asian culture through Nepal because it's easier for them to acclimatize to this other side of the world. And our tourism policy positions Nepal as a unique, safe, reliable, and sustainable tourism destination offering lifetime experiences. That's our motive. And that's what we all are working towards. And today's morning MOU with Swiss Embassy was one of those initiatives to develop Nepal further, strengthen our capacity to manage crisis. And one of my recent friends, again, she said that Nepal dazzles me with its sceneries, mountains, rivers, monasteries, and villages, yet its deepest beauty lies in its people. Despite hardship, they radiate gentleness, resilience, and contentment. And we get that quality from the lifestyle we have chosen. Our focus on relationships, not just with people around us, but with nature, with the history that we have lived through, and with the culture that is part of our life. And she says that it's about gratitude and simplicity. I leave Nepal with a longing desire to return, but also a need to give back, even though I'm not clear now how. And we have seen so many travelers who come to Nepal for Everest, for Annapurna Trek, for mountains, but then they keep coming back to Nepal because of the people, because of the relationship that tend to realize that they could have with themselves, with the people that they thought that they were so different, and with the nature. Now, until now, different presentations, in our different discussions, we have discussed from the visitor aspects, from the demand side, and we talked a little bit in the panel discussion about sustainability. I want to focus more from a destination perspective. How do we design wellness tourism experiences so that it promotes well-being of not just the travelers, but to of the destination, host communities, of the economy that they could be part of. And last month, exactly a month back in May 2026, I was in an event in Bandipur. It's often branded as a Queen of Hills, and this is not like, I'm not a paid promoter actually. This is just an example because it's very familiar to me. So it's called the Queen of Hills, and there I met a German visitor who was in Nepal for monastery trek. But for some reason, she could not complete the monastery trek, and she was there for relaxation. And what she pointed is, it's not just an experience of her, but it could be representative of many experiences of many other adventure travelers. She was saying that she discovered that she is a spiritual person when she witnessed life and death at the same time in Pashupatinath temple. So, at that point, what reoccurred to me is oftentimes what we think as ordinary becomes an extraordinary experiences for the visitors who are visiting us. So now the villages are there. They are living their life. But then the ordinary life that the villagers are living, the Magar community, the Gurung community, the Newar community are living, becomes an extraordinary experience for visitors joining their community and connecting with them. So the sense of community engagement was a crucial part of visitor experience design, which we often are missing while crafting experiences for visitors. And there are stories of revival, how they revived their cities, and we, like previous speakers mentioned, we are not doing a really good job in telling our stories because we think that those are ordinary experiences. Everyone experiences that, but let's highlight those more. And last year, I was in Mustang, 2 villages of Mustang, Thakurzong and Kagbeni, for another study. And our destinations are evolving. What I wanted to highlight here is when we talk about Nepal as a destination, it is not a stagnant situation. We are evolving. We are evolving as community. Our places are evolving because of the natural phenomena. So the global climate change, other weather-related phenomena are affecting our assets, tourism assets. So as we craft our experiences, we should be mindful about what realistic experiences can these tourism destinations offer, and how we can support these communities which are constantly battling with different natural and man-made phenomena. How can we better contribute to support these communities? You can see the visitors' numbers are rising up. But are we prepared to hold more tourists? That's a discussion to take place. And the third case, I'm taking you from mountain destination to mid-hills destination, now towards the Tarai, the lowland destination, the Bardia National Park. That's very close to my heart, actually. I did my PhD dissertation there. So I have witnessed over the past decades how the local communities are utilizing tourism as a pathway for change, but at the same time, due to different limitations, which is happening around the world, is limiting the potential of tourism to actually contribute to that transformation. So in this community, you could see how actually as a traveler, you are being part of the change. You are being part of touching lives of so many people in that area. Because the benefits of tourism is not just at visitor level or at companies level. It trickles down to household level, who are participating directly or indirectly in tourism, and to the community level, where the whole process is happening. The data shows that tourism is contributing to reduce people's reliance on natural resources, to be particular, their extraction of forest resources. We also found that tourism is bringing about positive change in the lives of indigenous women in that community, especially women who are involved in homestays. However, oftentimes we tourism stakeholders have some kind of debate on how to move this tourism forward. When we say tourism development as the destination level, we many times tend to focus on building roads. Yes, those are important, but the visitors could be prioritizing different services. So here we did some visitor survey, and the data shows that many visitors, more than about 50% of the visitors, prioritize improvements to natural resources and amenities, including wildlife diversity in Bardia National Park. And road came later. So it really depends on destination. So this is for all of us, actually. We might be very aware of this framework, but just to remind ourselves on how we can move forward. The destination image, the image of if we are to improve the image of Nepal or image of any destinations within Nepal, we really need to work to improve the service quality. Many of us are providing services to the visitors at different levels. So are we doing enough to improve the service quality? Are we doing enough to ensure that our visitors are satisfied when they come and take our services? And that's where they will come back and take our services and choose us over many other destinations around the world. So, stories from the ground. Like I said, I take tourism as a double-edged sword. So if you use it properly, it will bring about lots of different positive transformation. But if not used properly, it can bring about devastation as well. Whereas in the case of Badia, I could certainly say that tourism has been a viable pathway for improving the lives of people. Now, ways forward, I see tourism as really being a vehicle for change, not just at the visitor individual level, but at the host communities level, at the communities level, at the national level, and at the global level as well. And we are in a world where we are increasingly facing chaos, uncertainty, and a situation of polycrisis. And in such situation, there is a really good space for developing wellness tourism experiences that not only considers the wellness of individual travelers, but that strongly relates to promoting well-being of people, host communities, and the biophysical environment that the experiences is taking place. And for all this, there is no one size fits all solution. It really has to be a place-based approach. Every destination is different, every community is different. Every destination has a potential to develop different set of experiences that can complement with adventure tourism, with other forms of tourism. But we need to really place attention to that. And for that, I really preach this framework. We utilize this for one of our action research project, where partnership collaboration is key, but oftentimes we get confused on how we should move forward. And this framework really gives us a visual expression of how that partnership and collaboration can take place. We need impactful research, we need evidence-based intervention as we are progressing towards the pathway of change. And for that, researchers, academicians, practitioners, policymakers, private sectors, funding agencies, all has to build a deep collaboration relationship, and not just a superficial one, not just on the paper, not just on one aspect, but in co-creating solutions together. And we did that, and it was an amazing experience to see how this all works together to create difference. And we have our ongoing initiatives where we are planning to use this framework again to create this handbook on crisis management. And to end this presentation, I'd like to restate this. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Are we ready? That's the question. Thank you very much and have a wonderful afternoon.